will now have an exchange with my guest here, Sonja Špoljarić, who is HR Human Resources Executive from BSH, here not so far from Nazareth, but also in charge of the entire Adriatic region. And I'm quite sure, Sonja, that you also have been having some challenges occasionally with how to move, how to change from one culture to another, as you said in our conversation before, from red to blue. But before we go into that, just as a person, what were some of your turning points, maybe one, two, in your life, career, that that made you also who you are and where you are right now there in your role in BSH as well, so that we can connect on a personal level before we dive into more of a professional, organizational context.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and warm hello to everyone here and also via digital way of collaborating what we are now faced, which is not, already our new normal, I would say. Yeah, you know, you said before already something which is very familiar for us as a Slovenes. We are a bit strange sometimes, especially in this business area as well, because we also have a burden from the past, right? And we do not want to show ourselves. So it was even forbidden to show yourself, what kind of, whether stories, whether results or performance are behind you, what are your achievements, right? And I still remember from my previous company, discussing with my colleagues. I started as a lawyer in one Slovenian paint industry years ago, because I'm already mature to go to pension, but I'm resisting to that because I enjoy what I'm doing right now, and also I was enjoying already, now it's already probably more than 20 years. Like I said, it's forbidden in the way that you are showing your results. In a way, you shouldn't be proud what you achieved, because they will say, I cannot remember the English word for that, showing biti prevzeten.
Conceited,
yeah, in a way. And I remember a discussion from my previous company, because I was proud working in my previous company, what we are doing as a lawyers in the law department. And for me it was a bit strange, you know, are you not proud what you achieved, and you are not proud that you are working in this company? By the way, I was working at Helios paint company, just for Slovenes who probably knows the company. And it was a bit really strange for them. And what I want to say is that if you are not proud for the environment where you are working, and you are not happy with what you are working, that you do not have a possibility that you are working with a passion, I think it's a waste of your time. So to make this story short, starting as a lawyer, then after around 10 years, I fell again in love, but not physically. I fell in love because to work to HR, more or less. I started to discover what really HR means, and how important is working and developing people, especially with leaders. What you can accomplish with developing people and leaders, and I also started to read a lot of theory based on that, and immediately I found out that this is the area I would like to work in. So I started in my previous company to develop HR, like I said, with developing leadership, also with the processes, and then somehow with the company growth, it seems that the idea how HR should be developed, and that HR is not only the area which is working on operative work, but it should be a strategic area. Then somehow I lost my interest. But you know, I was working already at that moment for 30 years in that company, and I realized whether I would go on my own way, whether I will change the company. But you know, with my age, I was at that time 55, who would like to work with me, who would hire me. But you know, it seems that it is universal rule somehow that when it should happen, then it happened. And it came that way that I got invitation, first from one other company, which is now also quite good, developing in Slovenia, still existing, still growing. But the next invitation came from BSH, and this was my, again, I would say, the place where I felt immediately that I can grow. So this is story, I would say, what happened before. Now it's already 10 years ago.
As we were with another Sonja Klopčić, as we were preparing this conversation and this session, we were also saying, you know, in a way, it's so interesting that Slovenia is the third most industrialized country within the European Union, and that we do have this very strong focus within our economy on the industry, but also there is a lot of mindset that is still more from 100 years ago on, you know, like everything is like machine and you just give rules and you are very serious, maybe angry if needed, and then things start working. And from what I'm hearing, your story at BSH is how to change this mentality and bring more empowerment. And you were saying you also had have names for these different cultures, red and blue. So can you just share some of the journey that you've been on with the entire BSH on changing the mindset, the culture, in a very much blue-collar environment, which is perhaps more of a challenge than, you know, challenging how this particular space here works that is already embedded in a creative environment.
Yeah, in direct area, I would say we still have challenges because it's not so easy, you know. When you want to change, or when you decide that you will change the culture, that there is a need changing a culture, it should come from the top, because the managers are those who are role models for what kind of behaviors and a culture you want to have. So you know, for changing culture, you need years. You need at least 7. They say at least 7 years. And we started really with a deliberately decision to change the culture in 2017. But before that, there was some additional challenges to face with, and this was first to bring the leadership awareness up to. I shouldn't move. To bring the leadership awareness on the wished or desired level, because you know BSH was at that time when I joined BSH, the company grew from, I would say, the turnover and the number of employees doubled because of new projects, because of new competence center, We got a lot of, at that time, probably 50 new engineers in development in a year. And also we had to employ additional 200 people in direct areas, so in production. And for the management, it was a big challenge to how to first put the right requirements for the leaders, to assess them, to choose them, put the right people on the right position. So this was the first challenge. And we were working on leadership, we were working on changing HR, on HR competencies as well, and also as an organization we we were growing from Slovenian organization to Adriatic East organization, so it was, I would say, quite complex in a way, bringing a factory. Now the factory is the biggest and the most important factory not only in Europe but in complete BSH worldwide. And we are also now competing for the naming or for the prize Factory of the Year. We are in finals and hoping the best next week. This is also business is the one who then recommend or who requires also to do something. And we were working on developing leadership. And then we found out, because we measured then also our culture, and in 3 years we realized that in a culture way there was not a big change, you know, and we realized that we should do something. So we deliberately decided to go in this way to upgrade German, I would say German culture, which was more to the efficiency and to the result-driven and very structured and very with a lot of hierarchical levels. Yeah, and for that you need a lot of time for decision making, and this was the biggest then issue. While the complete company wanted to change, it was not only us, but we was the first one. We didn't wait for the initiatives. We didn't wait for the processes. We didn't wait for I would say the strategy in this way. But we realized, based on what we have, what we want to achieve, what kind of company we want to be here in Slovenia in 2020 or 25, and based on that, we decided also for our culture. So we upgraded this business excellency culture with empowering more people, involving more people, developing or bringing or opening trust, openness, and collaboration in the team. And we are only on the beginning, I would say. Although we have a lot of results already, and also the results from the both sides, from the company, from the sales organization, and from the factory, showing that the glue regarding to the organization and the business, the glue is our culture. It is teamwork, it's culture, because what we are doing, we are proud and happy to do it together. And this doing together, I would say, is the heart of our culture.
And am I getting it correctly that this shift was from more top-down decision-making to finding ways how people at different levels can have more impact on their decisions, so that they are maybe more flexible, adaptable, faster? Or how would you name this key shift from what was before to what is now?
What was the difference? I would say that it was the base understanding was already there, but we were not probably aware. And what was done in between, so with the trainings, with the workshops, we so far we already went through. I think that there was around 500 employees already. So from top management, middle management, down to engineers, to all, I would say the main key people, they were already trained in this way. But now what we are doing is a discussion and communication with trade unions and workers' council and with the people in production via business cases, so that they are aware what we are talking about. So we would like to bring trust, openness, empowerment inside the organization. And this, what we are doing is explaining them that not only business, that not only it, so or hardware or tasks and KPIs are important, but it is also important how we collaborate together. So on we level, and also how I, as a person, fit inside, how I'm feeling, how I find myself inside this story. And this triangle between I, we, and it dimension, you have to glue all together to be successive and have a good collaboration together.
And this, especially from I to we, can be a challenge in different countries and cultures, but maybe particularly in some of ours where there's a lot of initial mistrust and so. So what do you see differently maybe as a result? You know, what could be some small indicators that things are being more trusty, more open, there's more empowerment?
Like the easiest way is like now it came also in consideration remote work or home office, right? Before it was quite difficult, and probably it was same in other companies as well. But this was one of the, I would say, biggest issue to show people trust, you know. So at once it was immediately possible, home office or remote work or mobile work, whatever you named it, but it was immediately possible. And not only that, the work was done, and even better done, even better. So crucial was, you know, having trust to the people that the work will be done, communication from the team and from the leader, you know, also be in contact, maybe daily, maybe at least each second day, or at least, I don't know, twice, 3 times per week, at least, especially in the period when it was the factory was closed, and we were working 2 weeks from home altogether. And at that time, it was crucial, this communication between leaders and employees. So how you're feeling? Do you have all the information you need? Do you have a contacts with, I don't know, with whether with the customers, whether with the suppliers, whether with your colleagues in project, you know? But still, there were some people who have to work in the factory because the nature of their work was that kind that they have to come to the factory. But nevertheless, this as a trust and transparency and good collaboration was really unique at that time, and still is. And also what kind of answer we get and feedback from the people, while also taking care about how to communicate with the people in direct area, because they do not have mobiles, they do not have laptops, they are not daily connected. They have to. They were waiting at home what it will be when they will come to back to their work, when it will be possible, when the work will be safety and everything organized that they can come back. And we organized via SMS, via their private mobiles, the network that they were more or less daily informed what is happening, how the local crisis team is organized, and also what we are preparing regarding to the safety work for them, that they can be then back to work. And this was very, very good, appreciated, and very good accepted from their side.
It's a good social capital also for the future, for perhaps more challenging decisions that will come as the world is shifting. I have also heard that as you are changing this culture to more trust and collaboration, that besides the workshops, you were also using some metaphors, symbols, culture cards, colors, animals. So can you give us this? Because it fits beautifully in what we are doing next. So, you know, it's great to have a case from the shop floor.
I have also a culture deck with me, but I forget to bring it on the stage. But I can show you later to the colleagues here at the audience. But when we started with this so-called blue culture, therefore I'm in blue today. We discussed the one team culture is one of 5 of archetypes, they call that like that, of blue culture. So we decided that when we started to bring up ideas how to bring this to the people, to other colleagues which were not the project team. How to bring closer what we want to achieve, in which direction we want to go. It was, blue culture. Okay, so blue is modra in Slovenian language, and modra, from the animals, it's owl, sova, as an animal. So it's wise. Modra in Slovenia means wise. And as an animal, we started with a blue elephant, but we say now blue elephant, it cannot be. It cannot go with our imagine how the culture would like. And they then found the blue owl. And additional to that, the owl was the only animal who can turn his head for 360 degrees. Okay. So it was, and we decided we go for the owl. Okay, when we presented then the new culture to Romanian colleagues, it was a bit different, skeptically accepted, because for them the owl means it's a sign for death, it's so, and they were debating regarding that, but at the end of the day, when we presented them why we choose this animal, okay, now we have this owl in complete sales organization, not yet in the factory, because in a factory we have some different approach, because we go there with agile approaches, and there are also some additional values, and it's quite difficult then to combine both streams, for communication with the people, and this is the topic we are now working on.
And 360, the way that an owl turns its head, is also reflective of a strong feedback culture that you have been developing as well. And this, to me, is also in Slovenia, it's quite a bold step, because we are not so comfortable with getting any kind of feedback, because like, okay, does it mean something wrong with me, or, is this deep need to be affirmed and respected, and so.
You're right.
How have you been changing that? Like, what have been some ways that have proved helpful in helping people be more comfortable with the value of with the feedback and its value that it can bring?
Yeah, I will start with this feedback, because feedback we have now in our culture plan also a topic for our workshops, and our so-called agile coaches, they are those who are moderating those workshops, because giving a feedback we are presenting as a gift. So feedback is a gift, and we have structured way how to give and how to perceive. How to perceive feedback. So This is our topic for this year. Also, psychological safety is also one topic. But regarding to the changing culture, it was first topic, you know, knowing. The first stage is knowing what you want to achieve, in which way, in which direction we would like to go. And then the second stage, wanting, that you are aware of this change and do you want to go in this direction. And then you plan what you will do, what you will change, and then doing. So those are the three steps. And also from the individual change, you know, because changing behavior, you know that it's very difficult. If you are taking hands like that, it's very difficult then what to do then if I would like to turn back. So this is already difficult. How to you know, I don't know, from you were raised as a, you know, as a manager who should say, this is a target and we will go. Yes, Chuck, done, yeah? And then suddenly you have to be emotional, suddenly you have to involve people, suddenly you have to take in consideration other perspectives, you know, and it's not so easy for those people who are not aligned with this wish. And I see here also with the management that some of my colleagues, they really have a big issues they want to change, but it's not easy way. Also when on corporate level they wanted to start, you know, call me by first name. And they all put down, you know, their ties. And now we are all on T, se tikamo, in Slovenian language. We are on personal name, but it is not, this is not first, it's not enough. But on the other hand, it is showing that you want the change. But there should be, there had to be some steps done, not only ties away and we are already on the safe side. So we also have on corporate level one team, which we called MOVE team. They started with the initiatives because Germans have even bigger issue and much bigger gap between actual situation with the culture and wished situations. We Slovenians are already almost there.
Yeah, thank you. And that's also beautifully threads together everything we were listening yesterday, you know, how to expand this model of company as a machine in some way, this more Germanic model, you know, just put everything into its place and then kind of command it, to a more expanded view, including this relational field and how do we impact each other and how is this a fuel for the quality of the work that comes out and the quality of collaboration. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for weaving this in probably quite unknowingly, but still in a beautiful way. If there's any questions from people on the Zoom, you're welcome to write them into the chat. We might have time for 2 questions, I would say, for Sonja Špoljarić. Yeah, you're welcome first to just come here to this microphone. And Sasha, I think your name, and I don't think you even need them. Yeah. And yeah, ask question here, and then I'm asking Ina to choose for later one question from the Zoom so that we can weave those people in.
Hi, it's Sonja Špoljarić. So thank you for the presentation. I really like to hear the HR revolution actually happening in real practice. The question I have, I don't know. Can you repeat?
Things work better if they're switched on.
Yep, it is? Yeah. Okay, so my question would be, how were you able to roll it down through the different layers of colleagues you have, from the white collar to blue collars? So how did you adjust the workshops or the level of communication so everyone, you know, felt like they are on the same boat or on the same journey?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah, it was not easy task. Okay, for sure we didn't do by our own all those workshops. First, we started with one one global provider. I can even say the name. It is Axialent. From basically they came from Brazil, but now they are somewhere in Germany. We started with them, and we're still working with them. They are also a global BSH provider for leadership trainings. We started with them, and we did then a tailor-made program. Because, as I mentioned, on corporate level at that time, when we needed leadership training on corporate level, the program was not yet prepared. And we just, from our needs, came to them and asked them to adapt some existing programs to our needs, and we started there. And then we invited also one Slovenian provider with whom we were working on other topics to join those leadership trainings. And she and her team were then adapted regarding to our, I would say, there were results from employee survey, and we saw that there is a gap between senior and middle management and even team leads. They were like, you know, I don't know, 100 years between. And we realized at that time that it is really, we have to find a way how to bring closer those layers already, and with those leadership trainings, how we then adapt. This is the topic, but it's, if you are interested, probably I can then explain additionally, but it's quite a topic. But the discussion, and also, you know, then the presence from top management on these workshops with the middle management, and then middle managers were then present also on the workshops with the project leaders and lead engineers and other colleagues. This was, I would say, crucial, because they were telling their stories, they were telling about their issues, their own pain points, you know, how they are struggling with the situation, because we are all in the same boat. And it's not different, it's the same for somebody who is CTO or somebody who is project leader on one, I don't know, cooking project. So this Kaminabends, we say to that, you know, German. This was the discussions where they can share the experiences, and also those colleagues who were on the trainings, they can put also the questions to the top managers, to whomever it was needed. And this discussion then came, and then business cases they were working on. So we were combining then leadership trainings together with concrete business cases. And this was really the great issue or result at the end of the day.
Thank you. Is there a question from Zoom, Ina? Anything coming up?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So several questions, but I'll choose this one. When did you feel the breakthrough in leadership happened? What was an event or a moment that you were happy to see the transformations happening?
Thank you. For me personally, I would say, and I remember still, it was the first topic was when we had leadership training, management decisions. Management decisions, because on that situation, in 2-day training, for the first time, we individuals as senior managers collaborate together and open our souls for the first time. So on eye level. So this was for me the first topic, that we are open for this change. And regarding to the culture, you know, it was already there, because it was when we combined all the managers from all the countries, so country managers and senior managers from complete Slovenia, from the factory and from the sales. And we decided all together that one team culture, that this is the way that the values we are talking here behind, beliefs, behaviors, processes and symbols, we align what we want. And then it was only to do the steps by steps, you know, the program. And for me, it was already in 2012.
So again, that's when you were not anymore just the roles, but you also showed some of yourself and connect on a human-to-human level.
And maybe again, when afterwards, when we started with this agile transformation, also how young generation was involved into giving initiatives, what has to be changed. We have for 1 year agile coach inside the factory, and this lady, she was the one who came with completely different mindset, and you know, not only the sky is the limit, because then you are limited, right? The universe is limit, or whoever is a limit. I don't know, there was more than 200 initiatives, and it was very difficult for us where to start, you know. And we just put the mirrors around the corridors, and we just put up, you know, meet the person who is responsible for change. So
okay.
You can see yourself.
Meeting yourself in the mirror as a change agent,
Yeah, right. So.
And also learning, so from from younger generations, one generation listening to another and making more of these connections. Thank you so much for now, Sonja.
And thank you for listening.
Yeah, wonderful to have you with us.